Hi everybody. Now we have just finished our first week of Lent. Ash Wednesday was a week ago today. Now, how many of you had ashes either put on your forehead or you put ashes on someone else's forehead? Maybe if you didn't have access to ashes, maybe you just made the sign of the cross on your forehead. Now, Lent is a time that we prepare for Easter, and we do that one of three ways. We do that through prayer, we do that through fasting, which is giving up something, and we do that through something called almsgiving, which is helping out the poor. So we're going to talk about all of those throughout Lent, but we're going to focus today on prayer. Now, as I mentioned, Ash Wednesday was a week ago, and that is an old tradition in the church. You may be wondering why we put ashes on our foreheads. Well, it was a sign a long time ago of mourning. So when you were sad that someone had died, you would put on this really uncomfortable cloth called sackcloth, and you would smear ashes on yourself to show that you were very sad. And then at some point, people started putting ashes on themselves to show others that they had sinned and they needed forgiveness. So we have ashes as a sign of mourning or sinning or needing forgiveness. But ashes can also be used for cleaning. If you take a little bit of ash and add some water to it, it creates a compound that can be used instead of soap. But you have to be really, really careful because it can burn your skin. So don't try that at home. Farmers would also use ash as they were preparing their fields. They would set fire to their fields and get rid of the old crops, what was left of them, so their fields would be prepared and ready for a new planting. So we have ashes as a symbol of sinning and needing forgiveness, and we have ashes as a symbol of cleaning and making things new. So last week I talked a little bit about how we could use a cross as a reminder to pray. And so we're going to do a simple cross craft today that will be a good reminder for you every time you use it to say your prayers. Now this is a soap cross, and this is pretty easy to do, but you have to be pretty careful. What I do is I use ivory soap. Ivory soap is great because not only is it fairly inexpensive, but it's a really soft soap, so it's easy to carve. So you're gonna wanna take a bar of ivory soap. Let's get this peeled open. Okay, and then you're gonna take a pencil and you're just going to sketch out a cross pattern on your soap, okay? And as you can see, as I'm running the pencil over the soap, those soap flakes are really flying off of there, okay? So once you have, let me just make it a little bit darker here. Once you have your cross pattern, you can see that. Then you can take a knife, and a plastic knife works just great for this, and you can start to carve away the pieces that aren't going to be a part of your finished cross. Now, here's a tip. You need to take your time, because if you try to cut it with one fell swoop, your soap's going to fall apart on you because it's a really soft soap. So you're just going to carve away all of those pieces that aren't a part of your finished cross. Now, I'm not going to do the whole thing here because it would take a while. But at the end, you'll end up with something that looks like this. So put this by your sink, and as you're washing your hands, it's a good reminder to pray. You can pray while you're washing your hands, and it's a good reminder to us that Jesus washes away our sins. And washing our hands is really important because it helps stop the spread of germs. So keep this cross by your sink, and every time you wash your hands, say a prayer. And that is a good way to help prepare for Easter. All right, guys, I'll talk to you soon. Take care. Bye.